Mm. We have found. Great. Hi, guys. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. Isn't it just funny the things that happen? So it's Friday night. I'm so happy you guys stayed through the snafu. And Matt, I'm getting feet. One more snafu to get through, guys. Bear with me. I'm sure this is my fault.
Right, it sounds good here.
There we go. Sorry, there was double talk. I'm exhausted. I have to take a nap. Thanks for being. No, hi guys. It's that means that we are broadcasting from Broadcast Team Alpha in a parallel universe, right? The Quantum Wellbeing Show. And we just want to thank you for being here. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for your super chats. Thank you for supporting us and sending the love. I'm so grateful. We've got a little topsy-turvy thing going on tonight because we couldn't get another guest. No, I'm just kidding. No, that might be true or it might not be true. I can't really tell the truth right now about that. But Aage has something up his sleeve and I am in the hot seat. But before we continue to fry bacon, I just want to do a shout out to our friends over at the Conscious Awakening Network. We are streaming over there. We're streaming on a bunch of other stations. And I was shocked, guys. I was really shocked. I actually peeked at the TV one day and who turns up on YouTube TV but Aage standing there hiding whatever the can of something that he was drinking in his hand in that picture, right? That picture. I'm like, oh my God, it's Aage on TV. So streaming on other platforms means a whole lot different to me now, much differently to me now. So I want to invite you to the Mastermind Connection. It's a spiritual think tank. It is also the Mecca for manifestation, a bunch of really cool people. I mean, people who get together to create good in the world, how can they not be cool? Get together and in unity and in love, we envision beautiful scenes of the way that we desire the world to be, the peace, the new world, the 5D, the animals living among everything, right? And a lot of healing happens there too. Send an email to themastermindconnection@gmail.com, all one word. Aage will send you the link. You can come hang out with us. I'm talking really fast to make up for lost time. And Aage, what do you have up your sleeve tonight? This is it's a little
I
nerve-wracking.
well, I have it so well hidden up here that I can't even see it, but it's going to come out because this is going to be different. We have reversed the chairs around the table this time because this time you're in the hot seat and I'm asking the questions. Actually, not that new because I think you interviewed me twice in the past, and I think I interviewed maybe you a couple or three times too. So, but it's going to be more in depth because I want people to know you. Most people out there they say, "Yeah, sure, Nori, we see her every week, so we know who she is." No, you don't, because there's a lot more to her than what you can see. And that is what I have written up a little bit here, but I don't want to forget anything, so I wrote it down. And that's what I'm going to initiate this interview with because Nori is going to be interviewed and she's going to talk about at least one or two things that I don't think she has talked about ever before that I know. And one of them is that there is an extraterrestrial connection to some of what she does. And I don't know if you know about that, but you're going to know if you hang in there with us here. We're going to be into the show a little bit when we're going to get to that. Also, that there's a mystical aspect to an interdimensional connection that she has. And she's going to talk about that too because I'm going to ask. All right. Now, let me just start this out by saying that Nora is a life doula, and that's a word I don't understand, so you're going to have to help me out with this one later on. And a holistic universal nurse who combined the wisdom as a registered nurse with life coaching, personal fitness training. She's a Reiki master and a double certified law of attraction coach. She's a healer in energy healing to empower individuals to their personal growth on their health and self-mastery journey. And we're all on one, even though if we think we aren't. But she's also a hypnotherapist. And what she's doing is essentially assisting folks in their ascension process with her harmonics. That's also a new word. Hypnoharmonics and forward life progression sessions. Now, let me say that again. Forward life progression session. We all know what hypnotic regressions is. You go back and you find out what happened. You were 3 years old when your mom dropped you on your head, or before you were born, which you can do under hypnosis. Now, Nori is doing something different that I don't see anybody else that I know of doing, and that is to take people under hypnosis forward in time, a few years forward in time, so they can meet themselves and have a discussion with themselves, maybe get advice. Because your future self, chances are more spiritually aware or more smarter than you are today. So you could come back with advice that you could help you straighten out some things right now. And this is, I'm dwelling on this one a little bit because this is very important. But people doing this, they're having phenomenal results. So just think about that. And also, she is a mystical intuitive who uses a compassionate approach to help guide her clients into comprehensive well-being and what they want to, be in their own transformation. And it works on all levels: body, mind, spirit, and soul. You can reach Nori soon, actually, at norilove.com. That website is being worked on right now, so it will be up shortly and running. So if you try today, it won't be there, but it will be there shortly. And also, a quantum well-being podcast at Broadcast Team Alpha, the YouTube channel, as well as the website. And that's where we are at 7:30 p.m. East Coast time, where she shares valuable insight, wisdom from her experience of what works, biohacking, and practical tips on healing, living, and conscious empowerment. She also does weekly groups coaching sessions and healing sessions and long distance Reiki. So the question to you folks is, are you ready to go full out? That's her motto. So if you're ready for some change, here's something that you should have had a pen ready on some piece of paper, because I'm going to give you a phone number and an email where you can get a hold of her. And that is, you can find her at norilove1111@gmail.com. And also you can text her at 757-323-5558. And gosh, I said a lot, but I kind of think it was necessary, because many of you out there listening right now, you didn't know these things about Nori. So now you know. You might have find something in here that maybe can help you, or your parents, or someone that you know, because now you know how to reach out to somebody that have help available. So I've been talking way too much, Nori. It's oh yeah, I
Thanks,
think
Augie.
I forgot to say though that you're all over the social media also. You're on Facebook at
Yeah,
Nori
yeah, they
Love Healing Artist, Holistic Universal Nurse, Coaching with Love, Hypnotherapy with Love, Broadcast Team Alpha, of course, and also on Instagram with Nori Love Lifestyle. So, gosh, where do we want to start here? I have some questions that I've written down, or what?
I,
Okay.
I I have some answers, I think. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, I hope so. Uh, for people that wants to contact you, do people come directly to you requesting life doula services, or
Yeah.
is there a process for this?
That's a good question. So, a life doula is a professional who provides guidance and support and assistance for individuals in various aspects of their life. You may remember hearing about a birth doula, and that's a person who comes and supports the mother who is giving birth. And recently, my heart of hearts, there is a certification for death doulas, which I absolutely just love that that is happening. And those are, people who come and help the person give birth to their new life in the non-physical. So as a life doula, I help people navigate the twists and the turns of life. I do very specific things because of my fitness and my nursing background. I do a lot of personal training and weight release stuff, but those things are not just as physical or earthly as they seem. So some people come to me wanting life doula services, right? So that means that they understand all of the things that I do coaching, hypnotherapy, Reiki, and what else do I do, guys? There's something I'm missing, but okay. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's more to it than actually I mentioned. So you go wherever you
well,
want on.
it's okay. But the what I'm trying to say is that people who come directly, and there are few because life doula is a weird word. There are weird words right now. Um, they know everything that I do, and those people know that I'm going to jump into the journey with them and help them where they need help. Most people come with one specific thing, that stands out. But truth be told, most people come to me for either coaching, right? They've got an issue going on, they've been sick, they need health coaching, life coaching, or just hypnotherapy, or they come to me for physical training, getting their body in shape, or they come for weight release. So most people come to me for one of those things. Um, they usually end up getting more because I can't do a coaching session and promise you that Reiki isn't going to kind of sneak out. I can't spend 6, 12 weeks with you, 6 months with you, and promise that a little hypnotherapy isn't going to happen. So most people know that that's going to happen, or I can kind of tease it out and do the one modality. Does that answer your question, Augie?
Yeah, that pretty
Okay.
much did it. Actually, I do have another question, and that is that if somebody finds you and they live in Bucharest, Romania, do you work with people on the internet, or does it have to be in real time, in
Oh,
person?
absolutely. No, no, none of it has to be in person, even including the energy healing. That doesn't have to be in person because, quantum physics tells us that there is no moment but now. The past, present, and the future is right now. So quantum entanglement allows us to connect in the quantum realm, so non-local healing can happen. And one of the good things that came from COVID was that Zoom became a really big part of our lives. So
Yeah.
yes, I can work with people, in Australia, the UK, Canada, Italy, Japan. Yeah. And I love it.
Yeah.
I just love,
Mm.
I love that freedom.
Yeah, I know you got clients in England, so I know it works. Yeah. And in certain cases, you could, if needed to be, you can also stay nearby or stay with people to help them accomplish their goals. And can you talk a little bit about that? Because that is also possible.
Absolutely. So there are certain people who find themselves arriving at awakening, right? I mean, we're all going through it, but they find themselves arriving at a certain point where they want to undertake the transformation and they want to do a deep dive in the work. They want to dive in, release whatever has been in their way, and then get on with the benefits that they've created. So this option is for people who really, really want to do the deep work, get it done. And the thing that I love about this is that online or over the phone or even in person, like weekly sessions, um, there is the uh, there is the allowance for tripwires to kind of catch people and then lose time when that tripwire catches them. When I am living with a person for 3 months or living nearby and I'm seeing them like every day, right? I can see the tripwires coming and then prevent the sequela, or the results of what usually happens if you have a week in between sessions. Or sometimes when people get tripped up with their habits, that's when they'll cancel a session. So then 2 weeks go by. So people that really want to get in there and get the blocks out of the way and get rid of the limitations that kept them stuck, that's for these people. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I got another question for you. Um, I get emails almost daily from someone that sends me an email saying, and then they have this nice big picture of a little bottle and with their name on it, and they say, take these 2 pills a day and you will take your excess weight off. You'll lose like 30 pounds a month or whatever. And I smile at that every time I get it, at least on one side, because there's a lot more to weight loss than taking a pill. And you do a lot of healing work and weight loss with people. And I know there's something deeper to weight loss than just taking a pill. Please speak to this because there's so many people that needs it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I I I can't deny that the weight loss industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and I'm so sorry that there are those placebos, if you will, that promise you that you're going to release 30 pounds overnight. And, there's gadgets and pills and elixirs, and that's just not the way that it works. And people end up prolonging the agony of being where they are and not where they want to be, taking these things that don't work. To me, that's like a betrayal. They're promising you all of this stuff and then it doesn't happen. And people who are really in pain because they want to change their physical vehicle, that just actually does more damage. And for the people that, criticize people who are overweight or people who are obese, that makes me really sad because there's so much more to who we are than just this physical body. And when people criticize people for being overweight, it's especially poignant to me that the judgments and the insults are covering up the fact that we really are spirits having physical experience. And for some people, the process of physical transformation brings them, stay with me, to spiritual advancement. the way that we care for our body has a direct correlation on our light body, right? The eternal essence of who we are. So I do a lot of work with weight release. And that's why I said in the beginning, it's not just physical, it's not just surface level, it's really deep. Some people come to their ascension process through changing their habits rather than sitting and oming or speaking in light language, and maybe that will coax you into quitting smoking or quitting sugar or quitting that thing that you should quit but you haven't quite gotten around to quitting, right? So you can come at it from two ways. You can come at it from a spiritual aspect, hoping that that will inspire you to change, or you can come at it from partnering with your body, which gives you the signs every day, those knots in your guts, the sadness, the gut hit that you get when you think about this part of your body or what you're eating. So it's so much more than just surface level. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is starting to get deep here. And there's one more deep thing I want to mention, and that is that I think most people, at least if they're half awake, they understand that there's big changes happening in our bodies, our minds, our spirit, and the universe around us. And that is how, I don't know how to ask this exactly, but how the physical body, how does that interact with the ascension process that is happening right now? Is that important to align the physical body as well with the process, or could we just say physical is not important? Well, just when that's gone, then I am all there. Well, speak to this a little bit. I think I muched it up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, ascension, for the sake of this conversation, is the raising of our vibration, right?
Mhm.
The body has everything to do with ascension. Our body will help us get there if we partner with it, like I said before. So many
There you
people are
go.
sitting cross-legged, waiting for a CE5, and then they go smoke and drink or, heavily overeat or don't control their words or don't control their thoughts. And those low vibration things are going to keep you where, in the lower vibration. So
Mhm.
we get there faster if we change the low vibration choices and habits that create our blocks. So doing spiritual practices can get you there to help you let go of the low vibration, or letting go of the low vibration choices can rocket you up there just as well. Right? It's just up to you what your unique body needs for you to do.
So then, watching our language and our thoughts, that is probably just as important as also watching the body.
Well, I mean, it's all important, but for most of us, we all have that thing that creates a pain point. We all
Mm.
have that thing that when we wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, we're like, yeah, I haven't gotten to that yet, or whatever it is. Or, it might be a relationship, the way you're doing relationships, or your finances, or your body, or your health, right? Or your words, or the way you're interacting with people. Everybody is going to have that pain point, and that pain point is the gift of your spirit calling to you, saying, hey, if you put some focus over here, some really amazing stuff that's going to happen for you. And it's all about raising the vibration.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Let me dwell on hypnosis for a little bit. What kind of clients would you suggest is coming to you more than others? Are they people that is a little more educated, or is it just average people?
Well, all kinds of people come to me for hypnosis. There are no uh, what would the word be? There are no defining characteristics. People come when they want to change things that no longer serve them. Bad relationships, smoking, of course, the usual stuff, right? Weight release, unhealthy patterns, substances, self-sabotage. So now we're getting away from, the traditional things you think people usually come for. Self-sabotage, playing small in your life. Some people come to meet their guides. Some people come to meet their ascended masters. Many people I've worked with have met their star family during hypnotherapy. Some people have had off-planet graduations, if you will. They've had like off-planet promotions for a life that they're having, whether you call it in a parallel universe or not, right? And some people even come to relieve their grief, right? There's so many reasons to do hypnotherapy, just which means you're going to partner with your subconscious mind. Like people who do hypnoharmonics, that is um, that is an ascension, a consciousness ceremony, so to speak. And that came to me during I was training for some healing modality with Evelyn Apostolou from the Quantum Edge Healing Institute. And she took us through a process, and I received the words that you are the cord for those seeking harmonic alignment. Now, this was back before we talked about harmonics or the convergence, and I had no idea what that meant. I had no idea what that meant until one day somebody came for a session for what looked like a very practical thing, and it turned out to be a ceremony where she received an opening in her consciousness and was able to remove the blocks and that chattery part of her mind that kept her separate, right, from her higher self, that kept her separate from her true spirit, if you will. So all kinds of people come for hypnotherapy.
Yeah, for different purposes. I mentioned that you take people forward in time. That to many people could be very important. So maybe speak on that a little bit.
Yeah. I love forward life progressions because I have one session that stands out. He was a performer and just missing the mark, in his success. Kept missing the mark, like the self-sabotage, tripping himself up, playing small, all of those things.
Mhm.
And he was going to do a past life regression, but at the last minute, I said, what mode of transportation do you want? Right. And do you want a spaceship? Do you want a train? And I can't remember what he chose. It may have been a spaceship. And I said, what direction are you going in? And he said, forward. And it was one of the most beautiful hypnotherapy sessions where he went, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years ahead and met with his future self and had this beautiful dialogue and interaction. And really just seeing himself successful and healthy and fit and all of the things that were important to him 15 years ahead changed his vibration, and he brought that vibration back with him. And from there on, he became incredibly successful. So it's just whatever you need, your future self can sit in the forest and have a conversation with you. They can go out to dinner with you. I mean, the creation that you have, and this kind of session is very active, it's interactive. The client is super interactive with me during that session, kind of like QHHT, but I do not do that. Whether you need healing advice, or they might be a non-smoker and you might have your energy shifted in such a way that you come back and you don't want cigarettes anymore. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I now I hope the listeners caught that one because there is pearls in that particular concept going forward and talking with yourself, maybe getting advice. That is really something. Hey, I may even want to do that, Nori.
Yeah, we took you backwards, so let's send you forwards. Yeah, see what
Yeah,
happens.
that would be fun. That I do a lot of self hypnosis, but this is one of those things that is hard to do with self hypnosis. You need someone like you know, to do this for someone. Yeah. And I got another question for you. Now, you're doing so many things, and all that you do seems to be part of who you are. How do you separate out what kind of modalities that you would use for someone that comes to you for some purpose or some help?
Yeah, that's a good question. Um, because I really can't separate it out. And so that's why it's such a good question. So that's why I was kind of mentioning it earlier, that it's important that folks know that my healing may slip in during the other sessions. My intuition is always present, telling me things. And when I work with you, like as a trainer, my coaching is going to be part of it too. So if you come to me for just physical training, I do a disclaimer and let everybody know that you may get a little bit of healing, and you may get some coaching, and you may get a little hypnotherapy, and most people really appreciate it. It's a whole lot more bang for your buck, if you will. You get all those modalities, although you just come for one thing. And it's so satisfying, not just for the client, but it's so satisfying to see the way that people blossom and open up and step into who they truly came to be, whether they
Yeah.
come to me for coaching or healing or whatever, to see them make that transformation, to step into self mastery. I mean, oh my gosh, it's one of the best things ever. It's
Mhm.
just such a delicious experience.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
is. And you are also a Reiki master, and you created what's it called? Helix
Helix.
healing? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Helix healing. That's it. And you do the silver method of healing. What is the difference between that, maybe, and other forms of healing?
Yeah. So Reiki, um, I love Reiki. Reiki is gentle and soft and bubbly and very relaxing, and it's life force energy that flows through me. It's not my energy, and it's like I'm a conduit, right? So the energy comes through me to you, and it's universal energy. It's intelligent. It knows where it's needed, although of course we have a conversation and you tell me where you think you need it. So Reiki is lovely. It's soft and passive and warm, and Helix healing is a very high visualization energy healing modality that I created. And it's a lot of active client participation. We do a ton of visualization. And, I believe that you heal you. I help. I'm here holding space and energy. I'm here letting Reiki come through me, but everybody heals themselves. You are the healer. You are self healing when you're working with me or any healer, no matter what words they use to describe themselves. You are the healer. So, with Helix Healing, it's a beautiful journey in the body, and we use geometry and color and light and vibration to go into those places wherever it is to shift the vibration of the dis-ease. And it's so much fun that you're like, this is healing, this is like a fun journey. It's not like scary or maybe other things you might think healing might feel like. So that's a super active, interactive one. And now the silver method, I love I love me some Candace Silvers, because this method is so sparky. That's the word I use. It is sparky. Whether I'm working with you in person or whether I'm working with you on Zoom, it's electric. You feel the sparkiness of it. So for people who know that they are in touch with energy, like maybe like right now, maybe people in the chat room, if you feel warmth or cold or buzzing, this method would be really good for you because you're in touch with the energy. So if you're sensitive to feeling energy and you like to amplify it, this modality is for you. And it's a lot of hands-on. I use a lot of meridian points and some some movements like that. So I call it sparky, but it's so effective. It's so effective. I
Mhm.
absolutely so grateful that I brought that modality on board. Yeah.
Good, good. And folks, hang with us here, folks, because very soon I'm going to ask her about her extraterrestrial connection. But I do have a couple of more questions first. And there's going to be people out there right now watching this, sitting on the couch and wondering, yeah, I wonder if this would work for me. Can all people heal? Or do they
Yes.
all heal?
That's a good question. So, oh, it's a tough question. Yes, all people can heal, but sometimes their healing may look like something else to us, right? So, do all people heal? Yes and no. Some people actually block their healing, right? If they're not ready. I mean, and a good healer, like thank you, Candace, helps you to melt the logical mind that prevents you from really relaxing and getting into that part of you that can heal yourself. So some folks block themselves, but even if they block themselves during the healing, an energy transformation has happened. So it may not be the ultimate outcome that they wanted in that session, but they still were healed on some level. And as a result of that, some people may need multiple sessions, depending upon what it is, how much they're in the way, and how quickly we can help melt their mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
there can be many reasons why they block themselves too. And
Absolutely. But we also have to remember that for some people, transitioning is their healing. Death gets a bad rap, right? But sometimes choosing to go non-physical is that person's healing. And if it is facilitated, if it is made easy, if it is made as beautiful as the way that it should be, then that's their healing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Nori, I think about I'm going to say this anyway. About 3 years ago, I think we were doing the mastermind sessions, and there was a lady from Nebraska. She was the daughter of a very good friend of mine. She came to us, and she had, I think, stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and
Metastasized. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and you started working with her first,
I
and she
did.
got a good improvement. And then we did a little bit with the mastermind, and she was cancer free. But
She
her
was.
problem,
She had, yes.
yeah, her problem was that she was a drug addict, a really bad
Well,
drug addict. So
well,
after she got rid of it, I think 6 months later, she got back on drugs again, and the cancer came back, and that's when she got her healing, the transition.
yeah. So I really I don't like to do that kind of language, around it. Like it was her fault, you know.
Yeah.
She was able to let go of the mind that says you can't heal from stage 4, right? All of the oncologists and the palliative care doctors, nobody's healed from stage 4. This is what people are telling them while we're trying to help them to melt their belief system to go back to the truth that we can all heal. So she was able to get relief from that mind that kept her sick, to get a report that there was no evidence of disease. And then she just couldn't hold the vibration. And I don't want to say that, and then she took drugs and then she died, because We don't know, Augie. We don't know what was going on behind the scenes for her. We don't know. Maybe her contract came this time that she was supposed to experience that healing. Done. I'm good. I'll catch you on the next time around. And it was time for her to go. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, yeah. She was, I think about her a lot.
I do too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I still have her statement to that effect sitting on my computer here.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you do these sessions with people, you do a lot of it on Zoom and on the internet. Do you feel there is a difference by doing it in person as contrary to doing it on the internet? Is there a difference in maybe results or how people feel about it?
Mm, no, because the people that are open to doing it on Zoom understand that because of quantum entanglement, we affect changes in each other. So I have to say, of course, being in person and putting your hands on somebody, that interaction, of course, that's delicious. That's so much less, it's so much more intimate and personal than Zoom. But like a friend can tell you, I don't want to say his name because I don't want to violate any privacy, but
Yeah.
somebody that we all know, I worked with him and he could literally feel me as if I was in the room with him. So if you're open to it, it can happen exactly as if I am there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another question. You work with animals.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Isn't that kind of fun and so rewarding? Talk about that.
Animals are the best. I love working with animals because they have no judgment, they have no filter. They show you what they feel. I mean, I've got some dogs here now. They come up, this one in particular comes up, some days it's his head and some days it's his butt. And it's lovely because they communicate with you and they show you what they want and what they need. And it's like heaven just to work with animals. Yeah. In person and on Zoom, yeah.
Hmm.
That connection is just everybody
Yeah,
who loves animals understands that, yeah.
yeah. Do you also receive information from what we call the other side when you're doing these things? It to guide you in which direction and to what depth you do your healing?
Yeah, I do. I do. I do.
Mhm.
When I first demanded of the universe, because I was an in the closet healer, when it was shown to me that I was a healer. I was working in the burn and the trauma ICU. I know I've told the story before where the interference, the electrical interference was just so huge. And, I was working with people who were steeped in Western medicine. And when I demanded that you prove to me that I'm a healer, damn it, prove it to me. I was very quiet. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I called Datawa, who was the chaplain from Africa who happened to be there. And in the time that it took for him to come, I began to get information. Put your hands here. Say this. Move your hands over there. Say this. Get close to their ear. Say this. And then the floodgates just opened. Then that kind of communication comes to me all of the time. I choose to believe that it's from spirit,
Yeah.
from Holy Spirit, from God's spirit. And it is all the time. I mean, even when I'm coaching people, physical training people, I'll be doing something let's say I've got you doing sit-ups. The little voice goes, okay, have them pick up the weight and do this next time. And I'm like, wait, what? It's so out of the usual norm of what I would do at that time. But every single time I listen and pay attention and do it, magic happens, healing happens, something amazing happens. So, yeah, I do get information and guidance from the other side.
Yeah, and when you practice this intuitive ability, you also get quite a bit better at it the more you practice, probably. But for you also, you had a door open to you that maybe accelerated it. So you are pretty intuitive now, though.
Yeah, I was always intuitive, and I think that's what happens. We come to the planet with our gifts and intuitive. When I was a little kid, you know, ask me what you want to know. I knew. I thought, and like anybody who's psychic, right? We all felt that way. We thought everybody had that ability, like, oh, wait, I just got a really bad feeling about dad. Oh, what just happened? Then the phone rings, right? This was back in the day. You pick up the phone that was on the wall. Hey, this is the police department. Your father's going to the hospital. He just got hit by a truck. Oh, okay, mom. Telephone. So we come with it, but then things get in the way, and we have to peel back the layers, right, to get back into that channel, into that truth of the gifts that we came to share.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, there may be some people out there wanting to hear about that extraterrestrial contact that can help sometime in what you do. I don't know if you
Yeah.
talked about this before, but do you feel like it?
Sure. Yeah, I'll definitely talk about it. I think we talked about it 2 or 3 years ago for the first time. I mean, I kept it locked in the vault
Hmm.
because, back when you're 16, back in my day, when you're 16, we didn't talk about stuff like, extraterrestrials and possible meetings and things like that, and all of the things that is unfolding before our eyes right now. Um, but I did have an experience, and it's interesting because just as I was given those words during a session when I was becoming a different aspect of my healing, that I was the vibrational cord for those seeking harmonic alignment. I didn't know what that meant. One day I was taking a hypnotherapy session, and I was given the words, "You are the mother to the children you don't have." And I'm thinking, okay, that must be my patients, right? As a nurse, that must be symbolism for my patients as a nurse. And I just let it go. But then, as the acceleration happened and I damn stamped my foot again and told the universe, I want to know, because I always felt like there was something in the background that, that was hidden from me. And then I remembered, oh, sorry, guys. Then I remembered that I did have this experience, and it was pure love. It was under the water, right? And it was a whole neighborhood experience, which is a whole other show. But we all went down to the bay, and they came across the bay in a nanosecond in these very interesting looking ships under the water. And he came and put his hand out, and I knew him. I mean, I knew him, like, I knew him, I loved him. He was so familiar. Um, a love like I can't even explain. And I went under the water with him and went to this place, and part of it was um amnestic, a little amnesia, right? Don't remember some of it. But over time and with hypnotherapy, it came, and it happened during the mastermind session. Linda, remember? Lynn was doing spontaneous writing, and all of a sudden, uh, Alchimedes came in, who was the one who stood on the beach and beckoned me, and came in and gave us the name of 3 hybrid children that were mine. So I am the mother of the children that I don't have. And I know there's many forums now and groups and that help people to integrate, these kind of experiences. But it was pivotal, in my life and pivotal in me. Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite an experience. And you got under the water and you went to their place under the water. Maybe is there something more you can say about that?
It's hard to remember that. I just remember being amazed,
Yeah.
that you can live and breathe under the water. But then the experience that happened, I know for some people it's very traumatic. The experience that happened for me was absolutely beautiful and loving. And I don't remember how it happened, but it was love. It was magical. It was bliss. It was
Mm.
exotic. It was beyond anything earthly that I can explain. Um, so, a lot of the details of, what it looked like or, would kind of be left to my imagination and wouldn't be so accurate. So, yeah,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
that's that's something to remember. And then, well, maybe someday you will meet those children again. Who knows?
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
Mhm.
Let me go
Yeah.
back to one thing that we just kind of touched on before. Now, you received a message during a session when you were training as a healer. You are the chord for those seeking harmonic alignment. What does harmonic alignment mean?
Harmonic alignment, my understanding of it now, it's been developing over the years, and it's been developing with each person that has a session. I learn so much from my clients. um, the harmonic alignment is the opening of your energy and expanding your consciousness. It's moving up in frequency, and dare I say that the ultimate harmonic alignment would be 5D, right?
Yeah.
So that's the trajectory for harmonic alignment.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And I think I kind of ran out of questions, but there is one thing, because everybody have one thing that they have never talked to anybody about. Do you have a thing like that that could help people in their understanding of their universe and what they're doing? I have asked that on shows once in a while, and I think a couple of times they says, "Oh yeah, I don't think I talked about this before," and then they come out, and it is brilliant. It is helpful to everybody that just never thought about it before. Do you have a last advice to people that maybe you haven't thought of or talked about before?
Yeah, so it is what I just discussed,
Hmm.
having an extraterrestrial experience,
Yeah.
having understanding that it can happen, that you can have, you can be the mother of children off planet. And that is the thing that I never talked about. And
Yeah.
I just encourage people, especially now. And there's always going to be a stigma, but as more people come out and speak about their experiences, I just hope that it encourages other people to seek out help, because that's not an easy thing to navigate, alone. So it
Yeah.
would be that. And if you think, if you have this nagging feeling and it won't go away, definitely, open up to it, see what it is. And, at least if it's nothing, you can put it to rest. And if it's something, how cool is that? You're going to discover so much more about you.
Yeah. And there's people sitting on the couch out there right now watching us, and they say, yeah, I had this incident when I was 11.
Mm.
I I was on my bike going from home to school, and it took me about 2 minutes to get there, but it normally should have taken 20 minutes. I wonder what that missing time, what happened? Or you can say,
Exactly.
I have this little lump underneath my arm that looks like a grain, and it didn't used to be there. There's a little scar right there. Could that be an alien implant? If people have anything like that, they owe it to themselves to find out what's the story. So call Nori. She can help you find it.
Will help you. I will help you. And if I can't help you, I will help you find somebody who can help you. It's
Yeah.
it's really important. It's really important. And sometimes you may think I thought it was a dream, but after the experience happened, I went home and I wrote it down in my journal. It was so incredible. I just wanted to remember it. Although there were, like I said, there were amnesic patches, because once they delivered us back to the shore, there was a laser that like erased the memory of everything that happened. And it was just by sheer uh, relentless will, right? Demanding that I want to know, that I finally began to get bits and pieces, and they come to you maybe like little gems along the path, and you begin to put them together, and then you finally discover that, yeah, that's really real for you. And it's such a relief, if you have that nagging feeling, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it really happened, and da, da, da. It's important to
Yep.
address it. Yeah.
There's a
So that's what
reason
it
why
would
we,
be.
yeah, there's a reason why we have those feelings. There is absolutely a reason for it, and that you need to find that reason.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And just to address the chat room, we are going to have Grandmaster Wolf back on. Absolutely. We just absolutely love him. He's so much
Yeah,
fun, and he promised to come and do some magic for us, for you. So we're working on
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's going to be interesting. I'm expecting to hear back from him again. So when he talks about magic, according to our friend Monk Sue down in Australia, he said he bends steel by looking at it. That
Yeah.
could be magic, or it could be other things, or it could be absolutely anything. Gosh,
Good
this
stuff.
was fun.
Thanks,
This was,
Augie.
yeah, this was,
It was different.
yeah,
Thanks, guys.
it was different. But I hope you guys had as much fun as we did by listening. So we will see you again.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mac. Thanks everybody for being here. I hope
And
I hope a little spark of something uplifted you. Sending you
and
so much
yeah,
love. Thanks, everybody.
if you like what you heard, click the button on YouTube. Just subscribe and click the bell so you will find out when the next one's coming out.
Yeah. Much love, everybody. Good night.